We live in an ocean of information, and it is overwhelming to have so much access to so much information. Our brain actually doesn't know what to do with it. So the natural reaction is sort of to protect ourselves from all this information or to overindulge. The problem that I see right now with the division with women and just in general human being is that we are holding on to our opinions and what we believe is true, and we're unwilling to see other people's opinions because we're trying to protect, because there's so much coming in and we just want to preserve the truth and the good that we know, and so we're just defending all day long. And so what happens is that there's no true unity that's happening because we're really not having conversation. I want you to observe media, and I want you to observe the next news. They're just bantering. They're not really listening to each other. There's not really difference of opinion and engaging and say, oh yeah, that's a really great point, and thank you for sharing that with me. No, we're just trying to speak over each other to prove our point, make sure we're right, and it's exhausting. Okay, so here's my invitation for you. I want you to be the kind of woman who sees everything and absorbs the good. So there's 3 ways for us to absorb information, whether you're reading it, whether you're listening to it, whether you're having a conversation with somebody. Option 1 is to be a woman that is an optimist, which means that everything that you read, you see, you hear, you're having a conversation, you're like, awesome. You take everything in and you want everything, and everything is good and grand and it's awesome, and you don't actually check to see if it's actually good, right? You don't check it against your belief, against what you hold true, and then it gets really overwhelming because now everything is great and everything is grand and you don't even know how to put in context everything. The second way that women actually receive information is a pessimist, which means that we're looking for the bad, right? We're looking for the things that are not right, the failures are wrong. This is why we read blogs or reviews and all we see are criticism after criticism after criticism. Here's the reality. What you focus on expands. So if you're looking for the bad, that's exactly what you're going to see. This is why when I recommend books to certain people and they're kind of hesitant, and what happens, they come back to me and they say, January, that was an awful book, it wasn't good, it was full of that. I said, no, because you never wanted to see the good in it. You actually were looking for all the bad in it. So even though I recommended to you and there was all these amazing, beautiful parts, not everything, you couldn't see it. Because what you focus on expands and you're only seeing the bad. And this is why we have women that are complaining all the time, that all they see is the awful things and blah, 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 blah. It's exhausting. Okay, if you're that kind of woman, you can change. We don't have to be stuck there, because that is not a healthy way to live, and it's really repelling. And you have to observe yourself. You know, if you're just seeing all the bad stuff, you can't even see the good, that's a problem, okay? And that actually produces all these cortisol hormones in our body when we're only seeing all the negative, because every negative thought lowers our immune system. That's science, that's fact. And so you need to be mindful about the negative things. So if you're complaining and whining and only seeing all the bad stuff, you can never see the glass half full, then you are causing yourself some stress at some level. This is why it doesn't matter if you eat organic and so healthy and so clean. If you're stressed because you're negative, might as well eat all the processed food. Well, no, but your mind has everything to do with your body. Okay, your mind is directly, everything psychological is biological. We're not 2 different people, okay? Your thoughts are the #1 killer it's the #1 cause of disease, okay? And that disharmony. And so being a pessimist, you know, you can label yourself a one, but don't be proud of it, change it. You don't want to be a pessimist. It's not good for your immune system. It's not good for the people around you. They don't want to be around you. You want to bring light. You want to invite good, okay? So that's an optimist or a pessimist. The third way to look at it is, optimist, pessimist. And the third way, which I'm going to invite you, is to be an opportunist. And what that means is you see the good, you're reading information, and you see the not so good, and you say, what's the opportunity here to make it grand? What can I gain from here to make it even better? That, you know what, that I don't really see all the good in that. This is how you're able to read a book that does not have all the fullness of truth that you want, or that you agree every line, but you can read it and say, wow, I'm getting all the good stuff. I'm going to put that not so good stuff because maybe I'm not ready for it, I don't agree with it, but I'm going to celebrate the good. This is what's going to happen, ladies, is that you're going to be a woman that is going to absorb all the good information and take all the good, learn from all the bad, and you know what that's called? Wisdom. You want to be that wise woman who's not, that underdeveloped way of living where all we see is all the good and we don't see how we can actually test it, or all we see is all the bad, that's both an exhausting way to live. To elevate yourself to a level of grace where you can see the wisdom in every situation and see all the good is a mature way to look at every situation. So don't be afraid if you're reading things that doesn't have all the good stuff in it, or it doesn't have all the full truth. And you see this a lot, with people that have faith. They can't read anything that doesn't have the fullness of the truth. And I know that because I'm swimming with that situation. And I always invite women to say, don't be afraid of it. Learn from it. Gain wisdom from it. What are we afraid of? Engage and develop your mindset and your emotion and your skill set so that you're unwilling to walk into the unfamiliar territories to learn from it. You're willing to go on a mental adventure and say, I wonder why they think that. I don't agree with that, but I do think this is good, and make it even better. So go out there and be a woman of opportunist, so that we can improve the world. Because to be honest, and to be straight out, the reality is that we're living in a world where we're so polar opposite, and we're not really elevating the worth of women today because we're not willing to go out there and see the good, put away the bad, and make it better. So we need you to lead. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel at JanuaryDonovan.com. You can follow me on Instagram at JanuaryDonovan, and go to our website at JanuaryDonovan.com where you can get our weekly script training to master our worth. You can also follow me on Facebook. And really, ladies, let's do this together. Share this with a friend, and let's get women to master our worth together.